Hello! In this video we're going to show you how to make a great from scratch pumpkin bread. This pumpkin bread is really great during the holidays, whether it's Thanksgiving or Halloween. What you'll need to make this pumpkin bread is 1 cup of pumpkin puree, not pie mix, 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter, a half a cup of applesauce, 2 eggs, 1 1/2 cup of flour, a half a cup of brown sugar, a half a cup of white granulated sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of kosher salt, a half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, a half a teaspoon of pumpkin pie mix, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. In order to make this, we're going to actually bake it in a can. This is the best way to make this pumpkin bread. The best can to use to make this pumpkin bread is the exact same can that the pumpkin puree came in. It helps make these nice round medallions, which will be great for the Halloween holiday to decorate. You can also use this same recipe to make this in a bread maker. If you want the round medallion shape, you can also use a spring-form pan to do the same thing. This same recipe can be used to make pumpkin muffins in a muffin pan. However, my personal favorite is the can, so in today's video we're going to actually do the pumpkin bread recipe in these cans. The first ingredient is 1 cup of pumpkin puree, which we're going to pour into 1 large mixing bowl. The second ingredient is 1 stick or 8 tablespoons of butter, and we happen to be using the Country Crock vegetarian butter, so there's no dairy. The next item we'll put into the mixing bowl is a half a cup of applesauce. It doesn't matter the brand of applesauce, any version will do. The fourth ingredient is 2 eggs. However, we're going to replace the 2 eggs with an egg replacer by Bob's Mill. This is a great egg substitute and it works well for anybody who may have certain food allergies. The next ingredient is going to be 1 1/2 cup of flour. I'm happen to use an unbleached flour that I'm just going to pour into the bowl. After the first 5 ingredients are into a large bowl, we're going to start mixing them. I'm going to be using an electric mixer. You can do it by hand, but an electric mixer makes it a lot easier. After we mix all these ingredients together, the next thing I'm going to do is add half a cup of brown sugar. Then after I add the half a cup brown sugar, I'm going to add half a cup of regular white granulated sugar. Next, we're going to go ahead and mix those ingredients together until they're well blended into the original mix. After everything's mixed together, we're going to add half a teaspoon of baking soda. Then we'll add 1 full teaspoon of baking powder. Then we'll add half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Then we'll add half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Then we'll add 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Ground nutmeg is fairly powerful, so we only need a little bit. Then we'll put in half a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. This is the spice that they use in pumpkin pie. Then the last ingredient we'll use is 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then we'll mix all the ingredients until we have a cake-like batter consistency. Once the mixture is completed, we're going to take one of the pumpkin puree cans that we used, and we're going to take the sticker off the outside so it won't burn in the oven. Then the very last step is to take the pumpkin bread mixture and start to spoon it into the cans that we're going to be putting in the oven. Here we'll probably want to fill up the mixture so it's about halfway full in each can. You can use an eye measurement, it doesn't have to be exact, but just so it is about halfway so it gives room for it to expand. There should be enough of the pumpkin bread mixture in order to fill 2 of those big cans that will receive the pumpkin puree. We will take these 2 cans that are both about halfway filled and put them into a cooking sheet and then place them in the oven for 350 degrees for about 1 hour and 15 to 1 hour and 20 minutes depending on your local environment. After the bread is finished cooking, I usually let it sit outside the oven for a few minutes. Then I put it in the fridge so that the bread will actually contract from the sides. Then I can take a butter knife after a few hours in the fridge and it'll slide out beautifully in a nice form. There you have it, a beautiful loaf of pumpkin bread. Thank you very much and enjoy this pumpkin bread for the holidays.